Alright guys, today I have a book recommendation for you that I think you're really going to like. Now this book is called Civilian Warriors by Erik Prince. Erik Prince is the former CEO and founder of Blackwater Incorporated, the private military contractor, one of the biggest ones that there was. It's no longer Blackwater's Academy now. But this book is written in defense of Blackwater and in defense of Erik Prince himself, because Blackwater suffered such scrutiny by the left-wing bureaucrats. And in fact, on the back of the book, he says, "I'm done keeping quiet. I'm done keeping quiet." He pulls no punches here, and I applaud him for this. If you're a red-blooded American man who likes guns, you like the military. I've never been in the military, but if you don't have to be in the military to like it. But I mean, if you're full of testosterone, you're gonna like this book. It's just great. Like I said, he pulls no punches. Now, at the beginning of the book, he talks about his father, and his father came from humble background, and he worked his way up, and he developed, I think it was Prince Enterprises or Prince something. Anyway, I know I'm not doing that justice, but he became very wealthy. He did some amazing things. That's an incredible story in and of itself. He became such a powerful influence in Erik's life that Erik constantly refers back to his father, and it's very heartwarming in that sense. His father died at a relatively young age. Erik inherited a lot of money, which is how he was able to start Blackwater. And Erik is a former Navy SEAL, so that's basically his background in a nutshell, and where Blackwater came from. And Blackwater was contracted out by our government and by even private entities to do a lot of protective work, to provide protective services. And but they suffered scrutiny by the left-wing bureaucrats, and they came after him with a witch hunt, and essentially did everything they could to destroy Erik Prince and shut them down. Now, there are some videos floating around. You'll see Blackwater employees driving through a town in Iraq aggressively and firing their guns into vehicles. What a lot of people don't understand when they watch it, you'll see plenty of acerbic comments underneath these videos, just railroading these guys. They don't understand that these guys were operating within the parameters of the guidelines that they were given. And there's a reason why they were as aggressive as they were. It's funny how American people respond to this kind of thing. They think that every place else in the world thinks and operates like we do. They don't. We're actually kind of out of the box. This is why all the other countries in the world are trying to emulate us. We're out of the box. We don't think like everybody else does, and the problem with that is that we're kind of insulated. We're kind of insulated, and so a lot of people don't understand how ugly war can be, regardless of the fact that terrorism has made its way onto our land in the form of planes crashing into our towers, and you see it happening all over the world. And they think somehow that we can still be nice and get along and tolerate people, and kind of have a passive, approach to things. And you just can't do that. War is ugly. Terrorism is ugly. You have to treat it aggressively. And let me tell you something. If you're over there in one of those countries, you want the biggest, baddest dudes protecting you. And that's what the Blackwater employees were. You had a few bad apples, but Erik Prince does a great job of laying out the statistics and the ratios showing you that even with a few bad apples, they had a stellar record. Now, I'll tell you why I was interested in Blackwater to begin with. Back in like 2002, 2003, something like that, there was a reality show on called Combat Missions. Some of you guys might remember this show. It was where a bunch of guys that were, in the military and special forces like Delta Force, Army Rangers, Green Berets. You had guys from the CIA, the FBI, SWAT, police forces. They all converged, and they take these guys from different walks of life, and they would put them together, form these teams. And there was like 3 different teams, and they would go on these combat missions. And there was a process of elimination that would narrow. They would narrow the competition down to one team, and then eventually down to one man who ultimately won. And I think it only ran for 1 season. And the man who won was a member of a SWAT team from, I think it was like Dallas or something. But anyway, I believe he came off the Delta team. And the head of that team was a man named Boz. It was spelled B-A-Z, I believe. And I really respected this guy. He was very eat and kill. He looked like he looked like a medieval knight. He has this nice mustache and long hair, but he was so cool. And then there's another member on that team. His name was Scott Helvenston. And Scott Helvenston, he was the youngest Navy SEAL in American history. This guy was in impeccable shape. He was able to do amazing things. And this guy would barrage his opponents with sensory overload. I mean, he was up in their face. He got in their head. But he was smart. Man, he was an amazing competitor. So I liked both those guys, even though they were very different from each other. And they were on the same team. Well, as it happened, in early 2003, I think it was 2003, it might have been late 2002, I was in our local mall here in Central Florida, and I was in Old Navy, and I happened to see Boz. It was like he was waiting on somebody right outside the door of Old Navy. I told my wife, I said, I think that's Boz over there. I'm going to go talk to him. Well, I knew it was him. I went over and started talking to him. Said, yeah, that's me. And we talked for quite a while. I brought up Scott Helvenston, and he said, yeah, we're good friends. And I've been talking to him, and it was a great conversation. I guess he had family that lived here in our town, and so that's why he was here. I was just blown away because I really respected this guy, and it was fun to be able to talk to somebody who knew Scott Helvenston, and Scott is from Ocala, but that was shortly before the incident in Fallujah, where 3 men from Blackwater were massacred. I think it was 3. It might have been more than that. They were in a convoy delivering kitchen tools, whatever. They were delivering goods from point A to point Z, and they were going through Fallujah. They got ambushed and massacred. Absolutely massacred. Boz wasn't in this, but I don't know if Boz actually did any work for Blackwater or not. I know he did for the CIA. But anyway, Scott Helvenston was one of the people that was killed. And if you can remember the video footage of burned bodies hanging from a bridge in Fallujah, Scott was one of them. So I naturally had an interest in Blackwater. And when I saw this book in Books A Million, I picked it up. It was on the clearance. It was in the clearance section. I bought it for $6 or $7. You might still be able to go to Books A Million and find it for that, or you can get it on Amazon. But I would highly recommend it. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but if you're a leftist, you're not going to like it. Most women probably won't like it. But Erik Prince is a man's man, and I think most men would just love his book. On Goodreads, you can give a book, you have the option to give a book up to 5-star rating. And I did that. I gave it 5 stars. And I think you'll enjoy it. Let me know if you've read it, if you like it. And that's that. Put in the comments below. If you like this video, subscribe. And I don't know if I said that right. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. My mind is starting to wander. I got things to do and places to go. But if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. All right, guys, I got to go to work. I will catch you around. And have a good day. Bye-bye.